Okay, we're back once again. Sorry for that long delay, but I've never used the CoinMex because all my games are on free play, and I never even checked that CoinMex, so it probably had that sticky little paper clip type wire coin switch that was getting hung up. It was rubbing against the base of that where the CoinMex mounts, and also the switch was a little bit tight, so I loosened it up and it works great. Now we're going to walk over to the game, which is not lit because I took all the credits off. We're back at 0. I want to drop a quarter in and we're going to see what happens. And there it is. It works perfect. So we got 3 games went right up with the door shut. It worked. So we're going to go in there, fish out that quarter again. Here it is. We're fishing it out. I'm going to drop it in again for 6 coins. Six free games. There it is. The 6 came up. Another 3 free plays. So we're going to do it again with the coin door closed. It will not stick again because I know, because my fingers bent all them switches and got them all right. And there you go. One more time for 15 replays. And hate to be repetitious here, but with the pinball machines, you have to really check your work over and over. When I restore a game, I have my sons play the game for hours and hours before I could bring it down and put it in the slot. So we're back here again, Royal Guard, Part 3. This is where we left off on Part 2, but we had a little bit of a mishap with the coin demonstration in the front of the game, and we're just going to hook this light up here so I can hold this steady. So we're back here by the replay counter again because we have 15 replays up from putting the quarter in 5 times, which is 3 plays for a quarter. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to manually just push that plunger in, and the credit wheel will take all the games off and go back to 0. Okay, so we're back to 0 on the credit wheel, and we're going to continue where we left off last night. So with that being said, we're going to move down to the connectors. And for all you guys out there, this is your first time with a pinball machine, or you're not really used to them, these Gottliebs are real easy to do. So all you do is you take a hold of this connector here, and you pull a little bit out in one corner, and then you go to the other corner here and pull a little out. I am going to power the game off first before I take that off to demonstrate how easy it is to get off. So I'm going to move over here, and we're going to go down here to the power switch and shut the power off. The game is now unpowered because the coin lights are out, 10 cent and 3 plays for a quarter. So back here we go, and I'm going to show you. We just pull this connector right out really easy. It's easy to do now that we moved each corner out. We just pull right out. So here's the connector. This is the male connector, and it plugs into the female, which is that over there, the female. It's got the holes. The male connects to the female, and the push it dead center or get it in there, and you're back online. So you have that comes off. This other connector comes off here. We're going to disconnect this connector here. Right here. We got it out. So we disconnected that one, and we're going to disconnect it when I move the game upstairs into the garage game room, which will be soon. So there's just 2 connectors that it looks like, if I'm right, I'll look around more, that connect to the back of the head. So these screws here too, once you disconnect the connectors to remove the head, we're going to do that. Power's off, so we can put these connectors over here and hang them up over there. So the connectors are out. You got to take this bolt off, that one, and that one. 4 bolts and 2 connectors, and the head comes apart from the body, the lower cabinet, which is this, and the head is here. So take them bolts out, loosen them one at a time, and make sure you hold on to the cabinet when you do it up here, so you kind of don't drop the head and break the glass. You want to take them bolts out, leave one in for last, and then maybe get somebody to give you a hand, or you'll be able to do it yourself, and take the last bolt out and hold down tight from the top of the head here, so that the head doesn't shift with the bolts out and drop off the game. So that's the main concern. So easily, we're going to put this back on. She's back on. Put this other connector back on. There we go. Get it in there, side to side, real nice and tight. She's back on. And that's it. So you have the 2 connectors again. We're just going to review it. And the 4 bolts, and the head comes off, and that's it. So we're back here. We wanted to move forward. Yesterday I filmed part 2 with the bells we know about. So I'm just going to go over a couple of units here. Of course, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 score reels. We know about the credit unit or a replay unit or a free play unit, because we had a little problem with the coin switch, so we were releasing the coil here and dropping the games off the credit wheel. So this unit here, this 1-point bell, is for the 0 to 9 unit. And a lot of these Gottliebs have the 0 to 9 unit in it, especially all these games going down the row here. More than likely the 60s games have the 0 to 9 unit in it. And then over here we have the relays, which I'll put my glasses on. They're labeled and they match the schematic. You got an N, you got an M, and a K, an L, H. And if we look on the schematic, it'll tell you that more than likely this is a 1-point relay, a 10-point relay, a 100-point relay. I don't know exactly what they are. You have to look at the print, but that's what they are. They're relays, most likely score relays for points. And over here we have the scorecard for the points adjustment. In other words, your high score, if it's 3,900, you have to set the pins up to make the game score for 3,900. And it looks a little hairy and complicated, but once you do a couple, you can put any game you want at any score you want, because it's self-explanatory with the print. So again, there's really nothing in here. You have the 2 connectors that come off and the 4 bolts when you remove the head. We're going to review, you have the 4 score reels, 1 point, 10 point, 100, and they have the credit wheel, 0 to 9 unit, and that's it. We're going to power the game back up, and we're going to look inside the light board again. So I guess we have to put the switch on, and we have to find a quarter, because we have no games up on the credit wheel, because we knocked them all down manually with my finger. So we're going to lock this door up and drop a quarter in, and it's going to give us 3 games perfectly this time, because we made an adjustment on the switches. I'm confident that it will work, and it did. And I'm going to press the button. 1 game will come off the 3 games up there in the back, and the game starts right up. Even though we took the connectors off, it didn't do anything, because it shouldn't. But anyway, now the game is in operable condition, and I'm playing with 1 hand, of course, just my right hand. But I'll switch over to the left if I have to. Here it comes. So you can really hear them bells ringing back there, because the back door is off. So they really strike it pretty hard. If I figure out which one's 100, which I just figured out. So this is the 100-point relay right here, and this little plastic which holds the switches in, that gives you the 100. This should be the 10 up here. This one below it, it's not. It was above it. So the 10 is the M, and the L is the 100. And we're going to move the 0 to 9 unit with the N number. N for 1 point, 0 to 9 unit. M, 10 point. And L, I believe, is 100, the gong. And there it is striking. So, as you can see, without the back glass off, it is loud. So here's your handle to open up the lockdown bar. This locks the back box in over here. So you have to hold, I'm sorry, I'm going to try to hold it and pull the bar out at the same time. I have to, there it is, it's moving. I have to hold the back of this, but like the last video we did, we told you the weight of this light board will come right down on you. So you have to hold it until it rests on them brass resting stops. And as you can see now the game lit up. You couldn't see it in the other video. And you can see them GE or Westinghouse right here, these bulbs, these 455, number 455, really blink great. And they're vintage, so you can't get them anymore. They're not manufacturing them. They were made 50 years ago, and they're phenomenal. They never wear out. And I was fortunate enough to buy a handful of them, and I have them in all my games. As you can see, they all blink. All the games blink with them flashers. It's kind of like an attraction mode, MIBs, and so on. So all my games flash. It's a nice attraction mode for the EMs. They didn't do it when they were on route. Some people did, some vendors did, but mostly not. So we're looking in here, all new light bulbs installed, and very clean. We know about the back glass. So we're going to get out of here now. I just wanted to show you how the light board looks lit up with the 455s. We're pushing back on this, and we have to get that handle over here and lock it up. Sorry about the camera because I have to hold that bar. See, this handle here works like that and locks in place. Locks in place. So it's set perfectly. I lined it up. It's great. And we're going to put the back door back on, and then I'm going to pick up the video at another sequence.